Welcome back to Comic Quarantine. This week we'll be covering a special episode of my favorite childhood animated series, SWAT-KATS Radical Squadron. Back in the late 90s and early 2000s, when I was a kid, there used to be a children's block airing on the local TV channel called Channel 33 Dubai, which is one of the raddest channels in the time. And I discovered SWAT-KATS there. Set in a world of anthropomorphic felines, this series follows the high-flying adventures of Chance Tbone Furlong and Jake Razor Clausen, members of Megakat City's elite law enforcement agencies. The pilots become grounded after the pursuit of arch-villain Darkcat sets them at odds with the headstrong Commander Feral.
Hey! I'm ordering you to back off! I repeat, sir, we've got a lot! We're out of the game, Chance. We got a jet.
Reassigned to duties at a military salvage yard, Chance and Jake create their own high-tech jet from discarded parts and dedicate themselves to protecting the city, in their secret identities as the SWAT-KATS. Armed to the teeth and ready to roll, these masked vigilantes continue their quest to bring down Darkcat and other threats to the city, including recurring baddies like the Pastmaster, Dr. Viper, and Hard Drive. The show drew inspiration from Batman the Animated Series and aerial action flick Top Gun, both of them which had a huge influence in pop culture. Let's dive in now. Characters. Chance Furlong, aka Tbone, the larger size but a bit young member of the SWAT-KATS and pilot of the Turbocat jet. Tbone is one of the best pilots in the SWAT-KAT universe. He is Jake/Razor's best friend, ultimate rival, and an ally. He loves aerial warfare history as seen in the episode of The Ghost Pilot and Scaredy Cat cartoons. It was also revealed in one episode that he has a strong dislike of bugs that he eventually overcame. In Mutation City, it was revealed that he was unable to swim, though later in the episode he learned and rescued an unconscious Razor from drowning. He is very protective of his partner and the Turbocat and gets extremely upset if anything happens to either. Chance is also more the daring of the two and in his willingness to take chances, especially when with the Turbocat. Chance commonly flew the Turbocat out of tough situations, refusing to eject and coaxing his baby, the Turbocat, to perform. While Chance will go great lengths to aid and protect and try to get attention from Cali Briggs, he possibly holds some romantic feelings for the villainous turmoil. Jake Clausen, aka Razor, the smaller size but older member of the SWAT-KATS, who is a confident leader and an ace mechanical genius. He designed various gadgets and advanced weaponry used in the Turbocat, and he served as a radar interceptor and weapons control officer, or RIO, in the Turbocat. He is a martial arts master and more measured and restrained of the two cats. In Razor's Edge, he lost his self-confidence in fighting because he had hurt two pedestrians but recovered upon discovering it was actually a setup by Darkcat. He loved the late night show with David Letterman, a pun on David Letterman. His catchphrases are SWAT-KATS to the jet and bingo! A running gag in the series is Calico Briggs' affection for him over Chance. This affection also spreads through time as her ancestor also preferred him over Chance, which amazed him and
Good night, Sir Razor.
Good night, my queen. Good night, my queen. Come here, buddy.
Chance's nickname for Jake and Razor is Hotshot or Sure Shot. Calico Cali Briggs, the deputy mayor of Megakat City and the one who did the real work of City Hall. The SWAT-KAT's biggest supporter, she has a radio communicator which enabled her to call them directly when danger threatens the city. Although she did not know who they were, Cali usually trusts her life with the SWAT-KATS if required. In the episode of the dark side of the SWAT-KATS, her equivalent in a parallel universe was an evil ally of Darkcat. In Bride of the Pastmaster episode, her ancestor Queen Callista was the leader of a medieval kingdom known as Megalith City. Though Razor had a crush on her, more evident the fact that even her ancestor seemed to favor Razor over Tbone. Likewise, she also seemed to favor Razor and only saw Chance as a friend. Her name obviously is a pun on the Calico Cat. Vehicles. The Turbocat. The Turbocat is a 3-engine, 2-seater fighter jet that Chance Furlong and Jake Clausen used to fight the villains in the show. Revealed to have been built from scrap metal, the Turbocat is capable of vertical takeoff and landing and hovering high speeds, sharp maneuvers, and a massive arsenal of missiles. The Turbocat incorporates influences from a variety of real-world fighter aircraft. The fuselage and 2-seater design and sweep wing capability are reminiscent of the Grumman F-14 Tomcat. the primary air superiority fighter of the US Navy from 1975 until his retirement in 2006. The wedge-shaped body and tail-plane design is reminiscent of the Saab Draken fighter, while the VTOL vertical takeoff capability is similar to the McDonnell Douglas AV-8B Harrier. The VTOL configuration is much more closely related to the Lockheed Martin F-35B Lightning II. However, that aircraft was developed long after the show had been cancelled. The Turbokat boasts a wide arsenal of offensive and defensive weaponry, most of which is developed by Razor. Because of the SWAT-KATS' status as vigilantes and need to uphold a good public image, all weaponry employed by the Turbokat is highly specialized and purposefully non-lethal. Tbone and Razor also regularly puts the Turbokat's weaponry through extensive testing in order to minimize the risk of collateral damage and make sure its use never has lethal consequences. Other vehicles include the Cyclotron, a motorcycle built into jet seating and deployed from the bomb bay of the Turbokat like a missile, the Tbone, a subterranean vehicle used to drill underground, the Hovercat, a militarized Hovercat, and the Thunder Truck, a militarized jeep modified from the tow truck. All these vehicles were stored along with the training area and other equipment in a secret hangar below the yard. SWAT-KATS was made in the golden age of action animation and was a contemporary of Batman the Animated Series, X-Men, Spider-Man and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and more Saturday morning action shows made with the express purpose of selling toys to impressionable, young, mostly male children. It aired in 1993 on TBS after Turner Entertainment purchased the rights to Hanna-Barbera's stable and amid all of the Turner Entertainment's comedic offerings. It was cancelled in 1995 ostensibly because the timing between the merchandising being out late affected the bottom line of the financial, i.e. the money Hanna-Barbera was making. Remember that the series cost many $1 million to produce, all financed by Hanna-Barbera. Quoting the Tremblay brothers, now why the merchandising was out late is because Ted Turner announced in Congress that what his TV station is producing, there would not be any violence. Now this is in 1994, about in a time where all the broadcasters were pointing out about violence on TV.
There's not only a problem of violence in society at large, but there's also a problem of violence on television.
At the same time, here we are producing SWAT-KATS with helicopters crashing into walls exploding. So the show before it aired was some kind of hot and sensible issue the executives had to navigate with, which at the end resulted in being in late in coordination of the series coming out and the toys following way late after that. For me, SWAT-KATS was a wholesome part of my childhood, and waiting for it to watch in the afternoon block after lunch in my Panasonic CRT TV was pure awesomeness. From the supersonic jets to the insanely cool heavy metal soundtrack, replete to the power cords of the buzzsaw-shaped gimmick missiles our heroes launch at their enemy. SWAT-KATS took its cue from its both fellow Turner-produced classics like Johnny Quest and Thundercats, and its 90s contemporary Batman the Animated Series, with equal parts gadget eccentric superheroics and pathos action-fueled show, with on-screen violence to spare. For an action cartoon, SWAT-KATS had several things going for it. Female characters are strong and fearless, and the heroes, even while operating undercover, cooperate with the police, who aren't portrayed as either corrupt or foolish. Instead, although they're good, the official police are just as willing or as able as the SWAT-KATS do whatever it takes to get the job done. The buddy relationship between the two main characters is also nice. They may be undercover crime fighters, but they're never alone. Both guys seem to they have friends in the city and they seem pretty happy with what they're doing. Revival. On July 23, 2015, creators Christian and Yvonne Tremblay announced a Kickstarter campaign to revive SWAT-KATS, seeking to produce a new series and if possible a 70-minute film. On February 17, 2016, the Tremblay women confirmed they had started development on the trailer, which they will show to a TV company in order to have the green light for production on SWAT-KATS Revolution. Christian Tremblay confirmed Warner Brothers had expressed interest in bringing back SWAT-KATS on Boomerang, but are unable to convince the parent network to commit for a new series, and thus they passed on the project. Tremblay then started working with investors to create independent episodes of SWAT-KATS that will be available online for streaming. However, that would never come to fruition. They have since abandoned the project indefinitely, leaving many of their Kickstarter supporters left with complete silence in their final update on November 21, 2018. Even though the SWAT-KAT revolutions have failed, a few number of fans still cling to hope that Christian and Yvonne Tremblay might return again someday with good news. In the 2000s, a great episode of SWAT-KATS would beat any boredom you throw at it. And even after 27 years since it first aired, it still does. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, subscribe. And I will also keep the link below in the description for the revival of the SWAT-KATS series with a Kickstarter funding page. Support the creators if you want to see the return called SWAT-KATS The Revolution. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.